Namaste and la catch my family, and welcome to another Coffee Talk with Rion. It's an absolute pleasure being with you guys here today, broadcasting live from Southern California. Absolute pleasure. I have lots to speak about. I have lots of things. I want to shout out to my sister Lulu for going to Papua New Guinea on her expedition. First people to rock there in 20 years since Jacques Cousteau went last time, 25 years. This is from Papua New Guinea. It's awesome. Obviously, this is some Sedona flavor. So, in this video, we're going to bring a little of the old in with some of the new. Alright. So, everyone's been messaging me about the what happened in Salem. Well, what did happen in Salem? Goodness gracious. Lots of things happened in Salem, Massachusetts. First and foremost, sending out my love to all my East Coast family, all those guys out there at Starborn Support. We had an amazing show at Experience to Speak. That video I will try to upload for you over the next couple days. I shared some pretty important and relevant ways to protect yourself. A lot of it was shielding, gridding, and obviously protecting and understanding the types of consciousness you guys are under and some of the influences behind that. So, without further ado, okay, Salem, Massachusetts. Alright, so during our history, Salem, Massachusetts, and the Salem witch trials is kind of a world-wide known thing. Many witches at that time were not only burned in the United States, but also all over Europe and all over the world. I believe the actual number of women that perished in that thing is around 20 million worldwide. That basically, male or female, I'm sure it went both ways, right? But basically, it was anyone who possessed otherworldly knowledge, anyone that possessed knowledge of nature, any druid. Okay, I'm gonna get into the druid thing and what I found out there in Salem, Massachusetts. Same thing I found in New Hampshire. Okay, anyone who knew earth magic, anyone who was a threat to the belief system that they were trying to propagate, anyone who didn't fit in with the norm of being a zombie and being completely unconscious, anyone who threatened the authority of whatever town, village, or township they were a part of, anyone who was different. Okay, here's the deal. When I was there with my brother Alex and we started gridding, not only downtown Salem, not only the town hall where the women were obviously accused and then pulled out into the front yard, thrown up on a spire and burnt alive. This is some of the visuals I got instantly when I got there. I'm not going to pull back any punches here. Everyone wants to know what was this about. Well, this is what it is. We started gridding that territory in Salem, Massachusetts. We started actually blowing a hole. I had the entire water system around that entire area gridded, and then we worked in from the perimeter towards the center. Okay, I always do that because I always want to check my 6 and 360 around me whenever I am going into a situation, make sure I have a nice exit, right? So, the visuals I got were basically, I saw women being led from the courtroom, obviously the township now. They have like a new, still run-down courthouse area. Still very run-down. But I actually saw the original building. There was not stone under my feet. It was dirt. Every time I dropped a grid down and synced it to the rest of the system, of the gridding system, and as the walls closed in, I actually got to see more and more light, or more and more aperture came in. I just felt a very sad and painful and emotions that came with the memories. As many of you empaths know out there, when you're doing a clearing or a healing on someone, sometimes you actually walk with them through that experience or that memory. Okay, so in this case, as I was gridding, I got to see many things in what took place there. Okay, so when we went to our next, I actually picked up some VIPs too. I'll talk about that in a second. We then went to our next target, which was out. I'll put the picture of it on this video feed as a comment. This is something I found on Google Maps. I zoomed in, found this location. I wanted to know where their main order and operation was for the people that were out there doing naughty dark magic. Okay. Not just dark magic. Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Magic is magic. What's the motivation behind it? Manifestation is manifestation. What are you manifesting? Okay, so what I'm truly getting to is that I think after this happened, there was a lot of resentment, rage, and negative things that happened, because obviously that happened to one of your family members, or maybe in the past life happened to you. You can imagine what it must feel like, right, to have that type of thing take place. In a later video, I'm going to break down the grander scheme of the historical records of what happened on planet Earth as the powers shifted. Some of these belief systems were brought into fruition to cause and propagate something that no one truly understood, obviously, until we're in the world we are in today. Okay. Now, talk about the druids. Druids are awesome. One of my higher selves is a full-blown druid. He's awesome. Green cloak, eyes glow blue, amazing stud. Now, when I was over in Iona in Scotland, I always pay attention to the stones. I'm like a rock hound. Sedona has taught me to actually know, in Shasta, when I go to a stone area, I can even read the moss that's on the stones and actually find my way or find the path, right? Just by nature. Nature is amazing at showing you the way if you can pay attention and focus. Okay? Shut this off, turn this on, right? So, when we cleared New Hampshire at the New Hampshire Stonehenge last year, I got my first druid stones back, brought them to Sedona, been processing those, and we cleared that whole area out. I got a real, strange vibe. I had just gotten back, mind you, last year, about a year before that, or 6 months before that, from Scotland, Iona, Isle of Mull. We hit all of that area, and I can tell you first and foremost that at the Isle of Iona, that's druid land. Okay, it's the most northern tip of Scotland. You have to take 2 ferries to get there. Okay, but what I was really paying attention to was the rock, the stone. I knew that stone. I'll have to show you a picture of it, and obviously in the pictures I'll put in the comments. But it's a very specific stone. It just reminds me of old school ley lines, old school knowledge, old school earth understanding. Right? Okay, so facilitated that, gridded that area, locked that in, then gridded the eastern seaboard all the way from Turtle Rock all the way over. My brother Alex had some very specific points he wanted gridded to protect all the people in there, and obviously raise the frequency and create a barrier zone, right? Of kind of like these are good people. This is a nice place. Just grid this place. Kick up the frequency in that area. Okay. The wind is blowing. Okay, here we go. So. This is some of the stuff that just came in 2 nights ago, and I'll share it with you now. It's kind of high-level stuff. I just want to drop it like it's hot. Here we go. So, in 4D, in Salem, Massachusetts, and in Maine, mainly Salem, Massachusetts, this is what you got. Since it's like 400 plus years old, that whole civilization over there, imagine their 4D rendition is kind of looks like a dark Hogwarts. Big dark mansions, and I'm gonna get why it's dark in a second. Didn't have to be dark, nor does it have to be dark. Okay, but I was in a dream simulation where I was actually breaking into this castle that had been abandoned, but the people still had used the foregrounds for like weddings and for weddings and mainly funerals. This is trippy. Check this out. Apparently the architecture of this building, or this old, black castle, right? Imagine black obelisk walls, black marble, white steps coming up to it, 7 to 10 stories high, huge gargoyles on it. There's even there was winged lions that were black with black wings. All this crazy stuff, right? So I'm kind of with the research team. We're going through this location because I have my grid points in the ground. Mind you, I'm in the system. So I'm going through this, and there's some different officers from different government agencies asking me, are you really going to go in there? I said, yeah, I'm going in there. This is what was trippy about this place. In 4D, where they have the burial ceremonies, there is a quantum generator inside of this castle built into the infrastructure. So it's kind of trippy if you die or pass on and you're buried on the grounds. Literally, that version of you actually wakes up. If you're buried on the grounds and like your 4D wakes back up like it's alive again. It's kind of strange to explain. Obviously, we never die. Okay, energy never dies. This vessel, the physical, can shut off, shut on. What I'm trying to say is they're playing a very weird Hogwarts game out there, where instead of processing into your, judgment and kind of, what you got to work on in the next incarnation, they kind of just lock themselves in 4D. They don't come back. They just regenerate in certain spaces over there. Okay, so. Someone's dropping truth bombs. Moving on. So, the main thing I wanted to share with that is that when you pass on from one life to the next, your review process is very important, because what happens is you can get stagnant and get trapped in a belief system or in a frequency, or you create a glass ceiling over your own evolution. So, basically what you have is a bunch of baseball players that are pros over there on the dark arts. The pros, absolute pros. Here's the issue: they can only play one sport. You go, hey, you know how to play football? We don't play football. You know how to play soccer? We don't play soccer. You know how to play ping pong? We don't play ping pong. They play baseball. That's what I'm trying to say. Over and over and over and over again, locked in a time-space continuum of that specific area, and here's why. Okay, so back to light, dark, and indifferent. Check this out. Now, if all these negative things had taken place to you and your family, you would cause some resentment. There'd be some resentment. There'd be some revenge, some payback. You would want to carry these things forward. You're like, I'm never going to forget this action took place, nor those who did it to me. Okay, check this out. Forgiveness is one of the most difficult things to learn on this planet. I'll give you a little hint, secret: forgiveness. This is why. I was in Egypt. I've been in the great wars of Orion. I got my one of my 15D homeboys, one of the best pilots. You know what I'm saying? And the Gate Wars, I was there. A lot of different stuff. Okay, I'm trying to give you guys a reference. Okay, of bad stuff happening to awesome beings and beings in conflict. Here's the deal to understand. Forgiveness is the hardest lesson to learn, because in the karmic game, every time that you would say, take out your enemy, and that enemy comes back in the next generation and takes you out. It's just tug-of-war thing with the polarity. Here's the deal. It traps you in the space of where that conflict took place. You can never exit that place, because you're always going to be attached to the memory, the thought form, and the experience of what took place. And it will always be going through your consciousness until you forgive it and release it, and then ascend into the next level of game. Your own experiences and emotional things which are unchecked control you. They become your slave master. They become the bars of which keeps you trapped here. They're not going to tell you that, though. That's the truth. Your own heart, your own consciousness dictates where you can go. Very simply. Okay. Now, to get upset with the elders on this planet and the guardians on this planet and how this game is set up and go, why can't I go from here to here? They go, you can. But you're going to have to process this, and this, and forgive this, and this, and have compassion for those that this, and this, okay? That's the issue. And you have to feel it as it goes, okay? So all those things and those bad things that took place with all those beings on my stream right now, which I'm transporting back to Sedona, for my VIP transport service over here on planet Earth. I am Captain Rion. Alright, sip your coffee. Sometimes a third party stepping in who is unbiased in this situation or this situation. Rather, I'm coming from this situation and go, look, I'm really sorry that happened, and are you sorry for what you did? Are you aware enough now, conscious enough now to actually see the pain you caused? As you start balancing this thing, all my Libras out there, as you start balancing that justice scale, can you bring it into balance? Move towards the center and ascend. Okay, that's what's being asked right now. So in me transporting all of those amazing women, amazing goddesses out there that, you know, might have gotten into the dark arts after their families were taken from them by a bunch of jackasses, what would you have done? Get your whole family? What would you do if you watched your mom get lit up on a pyre? You think you'd be a happy camper? No. What it did is it created a fracture in our collective consciousness. Those actions created a fracture in which we stopped trusting one another. Understand the game for what it is. Understand why that took place. And understand the hands responsible. Not the individuals that carried it out. Yeah, they're da-da-das. We get that. Understand the strategic version of how they created more separation on this planet. Go there. Gain perspective. Understand why that took place and why we have to fix it. Be strategists in understanding who you are. Know thyself. Moving on. So for all of us galactic beings and starseeds out here trying to help out, balance things out with all these amazing earth angels, remember, do not get sucked into the consciousness. Rather, keep your fields up. Work around the peripheral. Transmute as much as you can. Transmute as much as you can. Okay? As the old falls off of me into the new. Okay. So, I like it. There's too much chi for that thing. Now, most importantly, I'm going to talk about this and I'm going to wrap it up with some awesomeness. Here we go. The first night we were in Rhode Island at my brother Alex's pad. Many amazing spirits, earth spirits. He lives on a quartz bed of quartz, right? So his backyard's quite big. And, you know, the first night I slept there when I got back from Maine, before we did this activation, maybe like 6 to 10 beings hanging out in the backyard, big angels, a lot of fun. After we did the soul pickup and we hit Salem and we hit the gridding areas and the waterfront, there's about 500 to 1,000 beings standing in the backyard. So I'm sitting there sleeping in bed going, how am I supposed to go to bed now when there's like paparazzi outside? I got all these, you know, I'm like the bus driver out here, right? This is what's funny and what I want to share with you. How they get in. As the bus driver for all my fellow gritters out there, angels out there, healers out there, world travelers out there, transporters out there, those that actually are the face of transmutation on Earth, you guys, male, female, and awesome. Okay, check this out. When you're carrying a load or carrying passengers or carrying beings to be transported to an awesome location, always an awesome location. For me, it's always Sedona. You know, they go right to the kingdom, right? It's good to be a good bus driver or a captain, I like to say. I go, hey, welcome to, thank you for flying Rion Airlines. I will be your captain on this amazing journey. You will be transported from this location to the City of Light over there in Sedona. There are many vortexes and drop-off points in Sedona. Many of those in the know this, many that don't, you will find out. Okay, so, I try to stay positive as that bus driver. You know, it's like you're a bus driver taking a bunch of kids to school, and some of the beings that are on your stream right now that you're transporting have not been in this modern age or been out of their time bubble for quite some time. Okay? So, sometimes they get a little crazy in the back seat. Here's the deal as the driver. Stay calm, stay mellow, stay positive, give good information, hold your field. So, I'm laying there in bed last night, or when I was in Rhode Island before I flew back to LA. And I got all these little dark witches trying to find a hole in my field. I'm used to this because I transport big dudes and big ladies all the time for the past 7.5 years. So it's kind of funny for me. They're like, "Ooh, what kind of drug do you want?" And I'm like, "You like drugs? What do you like?" And I was like, I like a hot cup of coffee and a 2-hour workout. Next. It was funny. It was like they kept trying all the normal things that would catch a human up to actually have someone step into your field, right? It was hilarious. "Oh, but what about this? Do you really want this?" I'm like, "No, there's nothing that you could possibly offer me on this planet that I want, unless you can offer me my wings back, or, fireballs shooting out of my eyes, or flying at Mach 1000 around a planet. You can't offer me that. Sorry, there's really nothing I want from you down here." So, what I'm trying to say is know your worth, know your value, know your integrity. You have no ceiling. Do not take the consciousness level of those beings around you, transporting, not transporting, interacting with, and take the best of what they can come up with as your reality matrix. Hence, what I mean is, come from your higher self down on the bounties of heaven that are at your disposal. Do not read from this melancholy tapioca pudding level of consciousness. Pull that down from 12D and go, oh, I think I would like something like this. No, I'm good. I'm just going to close that. Yeah, that's for children. Okay? Just being clear. Clearance is your ultimate level of how you know how much you have grown. Can you step into Agartha? Can you astral jump into Agartha? Can you astral jump to some of the holy places on earth? Can you jump to Tibet? Sit with all those monks up there that are awesome? Where can you go? Can you jump onto a spaceship? Hang out with your homies without being all weird? Do you know what you look like when you're wearing your galactic command outfits? Okay? What's your favorite star system? You want to hang out in Antares? You want to hang out in Alpha Centauri? You want to hang out in Andromeda? Where do you come from? These are things that go through my mind and brain. I love to walk on the surface of the sun and charge. I mean, I don't know what these guys are doing down here, but hey, that's just what, different flavors, different levels of consciousness, right? So what I'm getting to, ladies and gents, you stay positive. When transporting people, you just go, hey, I love you guys. I understand I'd be very upset too. Here's the deal. This is how I pay back with my heart. You guys, this is how I explain to all the beings I'm transporting from Salem, Massachusetts. This is what I say. You guys went through a tragedy. I feel for you. I love you guys. That sucks. I can understand how pissed off that would have made me feel, and the pain and trauma that would have put my heart through. This is what I can do for you. I'm going to give you a gold pass, a VIP pass, where I would literally walk you through the gates myself, as a small homage to some of the pain and things that you went through. I will walk you through those gates myself. That's the type of driver I am. So as you're out there with your family, ladies and gentlemen, and we're balancing this entire collective consciousness. I don't care if you're in Tibet, China, okay, the Maldives, right? Anywhere, England, Australia, New Zealand, you're dealing with the elders there. Okay? When you are transporting souls, when you are being a good person, when you are a great captain, he or she, right? When you're walking in your integrity and your heart is on fire with love and unconditional love for all beings around you, that is when you step into your God or goddesshood. These are just layers that you're peeling off of yourself to remember thy true self. Okay? Now, this is the suit we chose. We're in the human suit, okay? So don't be so resentful sometimes. Believe me, I'm about 12, 15 feet tall. This is a little guy that I'm in right now. But what I'm trying to say to you is that together we can get this job done, and we will. But what I'm trying to get to truly, unconditional love is putting on thy enemy or thy partner's shoes and wearing them, feeling what they felt like, and understanding that, a lot of things happen to many amazing beings. But to not partake in the separation game, rather, brother or sister, what do you need to come home? What can I do to you to facilitate you coming home? Come home. That is what we are here to do. My name is Rion. It's been an absolute pleasure. Much more pictures and information to come. I just want you to know, guys, I love you guys so much, and we're doing a great job out there, and it's awesome. Okay? Now, if you guys would like a session, I'm at ascensionleague.com. New light gear, etherictech.com. My brother Alex makes amazing crystal protective jewelry for you. I have my anklets on too. I have not taken them off since I left Salem to control my field, lock my field in. That's at crystalcurrent.com. Many more amazing things to come, and I'll have that footage up for you in the next couple days. Blessings.